not, what, how, duh.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Ready? Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go ahead and call to order. The time is 3:02. This is the Tech City Economic Development Corporation Board of Directors meeting. Today is Wednesday, December 17th, and we will begin with our posted agenda. We have we do have a quorum present, well, all present, and we'll begin with agenda item number 2, a roll call, beginning with to my left, your right.
Randy Deedle, member.
Mark Chevalier, member.
Dedrick Johnson, member.
Brandon Brooks, member.
Phil Roberts, member.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3 is an allowance of a conflict of interest declarations. Have we any conflicts of interest to declare? Sensing none, we'll move to agenda item number 4, public comments. Is there anyone in the public that wishes to make a comment? Sensing none, we'll move to agenda item 5, which is consider the approval of the minutes from our November 19th meeting, which had been previously disseminated. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to said minutes? Sensing none, the chair would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from our November 19th, 2025 meeting. Is there further discussion on the motion? Sensing none, all in favor of the motion state so by saying aye.
Aye.
And nay for anyone opposing, and sensing there is no votes there, the meeting minutes from November 19th have been approved. Thank you. Agenda item 6A, new business, discussion and possible action on resolution number 2025-43, accepting bids for ITB 2026-002 and entering into a contract for the 6th Street Community Plaza maintenance contract. Ms. Edwards.
Good afternoon and Merry Christmas, Mr. Chair, Mr. Mayor, and my full quorum of board members. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, item A relates to accepting bids for the 6th Street Community Plaza maintenance contract. So after years of work on the part of the EDC, Clark Condon Landscape Architects, and our contractor B&D Construction, we have finally opened the park to the plaza, and in the interim period, B&D Construction has been taking care of maintenance at the park until we could complete the bid process, find a contractor for maintenance, and move forward with that contract. So we worked with Clark Condon as well as the city's purchasing department to develop invitation to bid 2026, which was for the community plaza for various maintenance services. The whole thinking behind getting a maintenance contract as opposed to putting additional burden on the Parks Department was that we didn't want to put that extra burden on the Parks Department. The discussion was always the EDC will pay for a maintenance contract to take care of those items itself. As we reviewed the bids, we got 4 back, ranging from $88,500 to $132,005.37. Clark Condon has made a recommendation to award the contract to the Hild Foundation, HILD, and authorize the company to conduct the associated work. Staff is recommending the bid award go to Hild Foundation, who are the low qualified bidder. They were the ones that came in at the $88,500, and execute that agreement. The EDC, again, recommends approval of the bid award and requests that this board approve a maintenance agreement with Hild as written. The agreement is for 2 consecutive years with 1 12-month renewal option. There's a lot of detail in the documents that were provided in your packet. I did just want to call your attention to a couple of things. If you go into the ITB text that we sent out, there is a full detailed scope of services that was created by Clark Condon, the landscape architect that oversaw the design itself and the construction of the project. So all the little nuances that we discovered during the construction are reflected in this scope of work. Then if you skip over to Exhibit B that was in your packet, that is specifically the response from Hild Foundation that addresses all of that work, the frequency at which it would be completed, and their pricing. So you can look in here and you can see things that would be done once annually, once a quarter, once every month, 40 times a year, etc. So all of that is delineated out in the agreement, which gives us a system of accountability for the contractor themselves.
I'd just like to commend you for getting all the little details that are going to have to be handled by this firm. There are a few exceptions, of course, but that's understandable because if they were to come about, then the city would end up paying that as an extra. Thank you for that work.
Thank you, and we really especially want to thank Clark Condon. Those individuals that have worked with us have been fantastic to work with, as has B&D. Mr. Mayor, did you have something?
Yeah, I was just really wanting to see if you could summarize what is, I know you have this attachment, what's included as far as maintenance? Are we talking day-to-day maintenance and upkeep? Are we talking about system failures when the pump in the pond goes out? What all would this, or what do you be responsible for?
Right, so if we look at the Hild Foundation response, I can take you through that. So hardscape, which is everything from concrete maintenance to pavers, weed control, fencing, water features, is covered. Shrub and ground cover bed areas, so all of the landscaping associated with maintaining the park itself. And again, those are done at a different frequency, so some things would only be done once a year, other things would be done every month. One good example of that is bed and weed control, as well as taking care of the flowers at the site.
Is what you're reading from anywhere in our packet or no?
Yes, sir.
I mean, anywhere on the computer where all the members can see it?
Yes, sir. Ramari, if you don't mind scrolling down almost to the end of this packet.
Section 2, and I believe this
There
would be
you go.
page.
There we go, that's it.
So this is the scope that was set out.
Thank you very much.
So you can see the scope that we identified as part of the invitation to bid. Landscape, mowing, pruning, weeding, fertilizers, insecticides, general site cleanup, trimming, mulching, weed control, fire ant control. It's worth noting, and this was at my request, that we are really making sure that we're exterminating all variety of insects. There's quite a few different types depending on where they are in the park. Trash collection, inspection, electrical and lighting inspection, playground equipment inspection, site furniture inspection, water features, and artificial turf. So it's probably worth noting as well that the Hild Corporation does have several subcontractors that they're working with to enable them to be able to hit all of these specific areas of maintenance.
Question. The 2-year term, that's the same amount for the second year as well?
That is my understanding.
I believe that's correct, as set forth in the contract.
I think so. Just want to be sure that those.
$1,500. And I
Yeah.
think there is, at the very end, there is a breakdown schedule that will come with, in light items set forth, how that $88,500 amount was derived.
Yes, and that, Ramari, that one's the one that's at the very end, like the very bottom. There we go.
There we go.
So this breaks down the total cost per type of maintenance and the frequency, as I had mentioned.
Mayor, if I may, I want to answer a question directly that you asked. It does not include the warranty work. It is maintenance of the complex, the amenities that are out there, such as the shrubbery, the plants, cleaning of the surfaces, the maintenance and upkeep of the water fountain, the water features, and all of the other things that Kristen just mentioned. It did say on that list that she showed, trash collection, but that's only on the days when they service the facility. What you'll find if you go through the frequencies, there are different frequencies for different things that they do. For an example, they're responsible for mowing, edging, and weed eating a total of 42 times a year. So that's one of the things that's part of this responsibility. They are not responsible for if a piece of equipment breaks or something. That is our existing warranty with the contractor. And it is not daily trash pickup. It is in accordance with the schedule, but the trash pickup is done on a weekly basis by them when they do their different activities. Well, the purpose for that is So if they go out there and they get ready to mow or weed eat, they just don't go over trash and spread it everywhere. They're responsible for picking it up, cleaning it, and when they leave, making it a pristine site.
Thank you.
That's all in line with our own city people. It's in the same keeping, yeah.
So how would this coordinate with special events that are being held there? So that if there is a big event with trash and other issues that come up, how does this coordinate with that? Or does it?
I would imagine that what we would be able to do would be to charge them or to ask them to repeat a service for the amount listed on this sheet, but I could be wrong.
We could do that. We also currently have a contractor that we're working up on for just trash pickup. And their schedule, they come 4 times a week, and we schedule them on the weekends, which is when our major events are, to clean and pick up trash and debris. And so that theoretically would continue. We might bring back to you another option for that later in the year, that this is for the regular maintenance and upkeep of the grounds, the plants, the beds, the water features, everything that you see out there, this contractor will be touching it. It's important to note, when the architect put together the budget numbers, they were thinking that it was going to be somewhere around $120,000 to $140,000. This company is actually a Texas City company, and we met with them, and we met with some of the other companies as well. And one of our concerns is this is a key facility for us, and we want to be able to, if there's an issue, call them and have them take care of it, and they agreed to do that.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 2025-43. Is there further discussion on the motion? Sensing none, all in favor of the motion state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And the motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Agenda item 6B, discussion and possible action on resolution number 2025-44, allocation of funds to design and place a custom mural on the 100-foot by 15-foot wall facing the 6th Street Community Plaza.
Okay. So a couple of meetings ago, we breached the topic of a mural installation on a wall that faces the 6th Street Community Plaza that is immediately adjacent to a piece of property that we purchased to add more green space to the plaza itself. We established a mural program in fiscal '24 for the purpose of branding and beautification. The city did an RFP at that time, which required artists to submit pricing for 800 square foot murals or 20 by 40, and 2 local artists, Gabriel Prusmack and Alan Davis, were awarded performance agreements and each installed a mural on 6th Street. So you've got the Phoenix mural that's on the Phoenix building, and you've got the really pretty flower, stingray, colorful piece on another building that the EDC owns. With the plaza now open and following the August 2025 approval of that property purchase of green space, we are requesting approval to utilize budgeted funds to install a 100-foot by 15-foot mural on the wall of the adjacent business, which is Gold Star Finance, that faces the plaza. The next item will cover the request that the board made at that time to develop what amounts to a deed restriction, which that owner is now in a position to sign to ensure that if the building changes hands, the owner is not able to paint over, damage, or change that mural in any way. That's ours. So in speaking with the 3 artists that originally responded to the RFP, we got new pricing for a 100 by 1,500 square foot mural that differs significantly from their prices for 800 square feet. It would make sense that they'd be a little more expensive because it's 700 additional square feet of art. The low bid that we got was from Gabriel Prusmack, and he said that he could do the work for $21,200. That is less per square foot than the 800 square foot mural that he did for us. Gabriel is the artist responsible for the mural that is on 413 6th Street, I did include a picture of that in the packet, Ramari. I don't know if you have that at hand. So this is the art that Gabriel did. It's similar to a lot of other his pieces in that there's color and geometrics and it's very bright and flowy. The $21,000 does include graphic work with us, so that gives us the ability to let him know we want it to be Texas City themed, we want it to reflect history, we want it to reflect oil and gas industry, whatever we choose to ask him to integrate in, he'll develop a concept from scratch based on our wishes for that design. And if you go down a little bit, thank you, Ramari, this is the wall we're talking about. So this green space here is what we're in the finalizing a purchase with Bruce Lurson for this property here. And that wall faces not only that green space, but is visible from the entire park. So that's why we have the interest in painting the mural. So again, our request would be approval of the use of allocated funds to design and place a mural on that wall.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Embedded in this approval of funds, has he submitted any renderings of what would be on this wall just yet?
No, sir.
Okay. And are we at liberty on the board to make suggestions?
Yes, sir.
To that end?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I
just
meant
don't-
by the process includes that drafting and that conceptualizing.
Okay. I don't know how an artist, and I'm certainly not one, can submit a price if they don't know what they're painting yet. You know, but again, if he's gonna be held to that price due to contract, then that's fine, he's held to it. But if he doesn't know what the rendering is or what he's painting, some, I would think, would be a little bit more intricate than others or whatnot, but maybe not, maybe it's just a one.
We did not discuss any kind of sliding scale pricing or anything. That was the quote he gave me, and I'm assuming that it includes time, materials, equipment, just like the last one did.
Okay.
I would say, just for insight, Gabriel is a well-liked artist throughout the Galveston County area. He's done plenty of work in Galveston. I think that doing a mural this size would represent an opportunity for him, which could be part of an explanation for the price being lower.
I think basically before he would issue the contract, he would have to be approved by y'all on what the rendition of that picture is supposed to look. Artists are interested in people and their skill sets, and I don't think they work by the hour per se. They just work from a process and develop that. So I can understand that.
Yeah, but y'all too. I mean, like the mayor said, we want to make sure that this group,
Sure.
if we're paying for it, is happy with the design. So we would take your suggestions, which I can take today or we can discuss in the future, give that to him, get an initial rendering, see if there are any changes this board would wish to make, and at that point, give him the go-ahead.
Has he tendered any type of written agreement to us, or is that going to be part of the documentation associated with this?
He has submitted the pricing document. I think that was also attached in the packet. Yep, Gabriel Prusmack pricing.
I would just suggest that we probably want to reduce an agreement to writing, particularly with respect to that there would be a mutual agreement as to the final design, so that if, for example, we were to approve a design that he just said, I can't do it, or I can't do it for that price, that would give us the ability to then back out of the contract, and then we could, drop back and figure out another option. But
And that's-
I would like to see something reduced to writing to give us some options there.
We can create that quickly because we did that with the initial round of murals.
Mutual agreement between the city and him.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this before, and I've shared this with you. I want to say it here publicly in front of the entire board. When we first began the mural project, one of the things that I think is indicative of murals is that they not only add artistic value to the area of town or the building that they're on, but they also are a draw. They are a magnetic in the sense that people love the mural so much that they want to come and take pictures in front of it. On the Regos building, it says Texas City, and I've seen a lot of people take pictures in front of that building because Texas City is in the background. And so as it relates to this 6th Street Community Plaza, I heard you say we want the mural to reflect Texas City and our history and our industry and things that define us. And I slightly disagree in the sense that this mural would be on a park, right? And I think this mural should indicate or be reflective of the activities of that park, whether it's a concert, girls doing double Dutch jump rope, or, you know, families walking their dog because it's a dog park, whatever. I think this mural should be
That's a good
outdoor
point.
life. I don't want to go to 6th Street Community Plaza and see a man in a hard hat at a refinery. You know what I'm saying? I see enough of those every day anyway. But but from an artistic value thing, I think that the mural that will be seen by everybody traveling south on 6th Street and everybody at that park, it should be reflective of some outdoor, fun, park plaza life. That's just my opinion.
That's why I want your input.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's perfect since we have the property right beside it now for such events, for taking pictures, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to get into something else. It's not mural related, but we'll come back to that, the grounds later.
My only concern is we'll get discussion on the wall itself in preparation for the mural.
Yes,
later.
that's the next item.
Next one, right? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions regarding resolution 2025-44? Sensing none, the chair would entertain a motion.
Move to approve that we approve this item that allocates the funds to design this mural.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 2025-44. Is there further discussion on the motion? Sensing none, all in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And the motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Agenda item 6C, discussion and possible action on resolution number 2025-45, allocation of funds for the purpose of beautifying the 6th Street Community Plaza in preparation for a mural placement.
So as a continuation of the discussion about the mural itself, we brought this item to the board previously and got some additional direction. So the business owner of Gold Star Finance has been supportive of a mural from the very beginning of the conversation. She loves the idea. During a previous EDC board meeting, the group discussed the potential installation of that mural on that building. And as part of that discussion, the board directed the city attorney and staff to develop a deed restriction document for signature by the property owner. To be able to sign that, she had to get her business back in good standing with the state, and she's done that, and there's documentation in your packet that speaks to that. So with that out of the way, she is enabled to sign the document with this board's approval, and that would effectively make it the city's decision, or the EDC's decision rather, on any changes, maintenance, anything like that. That's our mural, and no new business owner of that building would have the right to touch it, change it, anything like that. In order to place the mural on the wall, maintenance must be first conducted to include pressure washing, cleaning, and installation of a new mortar skim coat. This is just to ensure that that wall is a nice, clean, flat space to place the mural on to circumvent potential maintenance issues later on down the line. We did receive a bid from Generosity Services, a quote I should say, from Generosity Services, a Choice Partners contractor, for a proposal to complete the work for $22,985. Those funds are available in the EDC's annual budget, Fund 801. I'll definitely get with finance to figure out how we code that, as it's not our building, but I trust that Cynthia and I, with our heads together, can figure it out.
What is the certificate WB Rentals reference to?
WB Rentals is the business name of the woman that owns the building. So her name is Wanda, and she is the owner of the Gold Star Finance building. So it was her business that had to get back in good standing as the owner of the building to enable her to be able to sign the document. Kyle could probably explain that better than I can, but that was what was required of her to be eligible to sign.
And have we yet, or will we consult with Kyle relative to, this is a real unique agreement that I hear you stating, that should the building be sold, the new owner would have limited to no say on what goes on their wall.
That's correct.
That's correct. And so, and Kyle has, I just want us to look into the legalities of that, because I've never heard of such an arrangement.
The deed restriction document is included in your packet. We can look at it if you like.
No, I don't need to look at it here now. I just want to make sure that we have run that by legal, so that it is something that,
We'll stand up.
yeah, that will stand up.
The deed restriction would, it's a covenant that runs with the land, so anybody that takes title to the property takes it to that subject, that restriction.
Got it. Aside from the wall, I was going to mention this earlier. I want to talk about this parcel of land that we acquired after the park was complete. We acquired that additional parcel. EDC voted on that because it gives an extra patch of green space, if you will, to the park. My only concern with that is because that was not constructed with the park, I want to make sure that it is properly leveled. And, you know, I would even go so far as to say resodded. If you look at the picture, there's some just places where it just doesn't look as pristine as the rest of the park because it was not a park construction. So moving forward, I just want us to think about whether we're just going to refertilize it and try to spruce it up, or whether we need to scrape it and resod it, level it out. It is now our property. I don't want anybody to step in a pothole and twist an ankle because we didn't properly grade it, and now there's a liability there. So in addition to the smoothing of the wall for the mural, I'd like to make sure that those grounds are just as adequate for the enjoyment of our residents as well.
Okay.
Good point.
Agreed. Okay. We have before us resolution 2025-45. Is there a motion?
I do have another question, because I just look at the wall and it just looks like grass is growing through the wall, and that's pretty much what it is, right? And I'm now no expert on that, but in prepping and smoothing that wall, we're gonna get the grass off, kill it. Are we gonna put another covering on top of the wall, another surfacing, or are we just gonna paint, or is that grass gonna come back, or?
So what the quote indicates, if we look at what Generosity Services submitted, and that is included in your packet, the scope is to provide materials, labor, equipment, and supervision to complete, mobilizing equipment, tools, and materials on site, scaffolding for the duration, pressure wash left elevation of building to prep for skin and skim coat, provide and install new mortar skim coat up to a 1/2 inch thick to provide a clean paintable surface. So yes, after they remove the grass, kill the grass, then an additional skim coat goes over the entire wall to paint upon.
Okay, I just want to be sure that that skim coat is a 1/2 inch thick. It's of a surface that still won't be penetrated again. Grass and weeds are strong, right? You see them grow through concrete sometimes. And just wanted to know if there's going to be some subsequent maintenance or mitigation should that grass reappear.
That's a point well taken, and I'm not sure that we want to be tied to a 1/2 inch. We need to have it to whatever it needs to be, smooth, and sure that, there's going to be indentation. There are indentations in that wall right now.
Yes.
Some places might require more, and some, okay. So
Some are gonna require straight up brick repair. That's part of the
right.
part of the scope.
And further to that point, to all these points, that I wonder at some point there needs to be some dialogue between the artist and this contractor, to the extent that the artist is okay with the finished product, so that it's conducive to the paint that's going to be used and all that. It does state here that waterproofing is outside this proposal, which makes sense. I don't imagine you'd want to waterproof the skim coat and then try to paint on top of that. But is, to the extent that the mural goes on top as the finished product, what protective surface, if any, would be on top of that?
Mm-hmm.
I just think it might be healthy to have some dialogue between the two that we're involved with as well. Not particularly this board, but you, Mr. Branson, whomever,
We can absolutely facilitate that.
Okay.
And I would say just from previous experience that once a mural is installed of this scale, the artist typically applies a polyurethane coating that can extend the life of that mural from 5 years to 25 years, depending on what kind of covering they use. So there would be a sealant regardless, but I take your point as to the original surface. And we can absolutely have choice partner and mural artist communicate before that work starts to ensure that they're setting him up for success.
Did you indicate that final coat to last 5 to 10 years is additional price?
No, that would be
It's
part
included?
of, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Move for approval.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 2025-45. Is there further discussion on the motion? Sensing none, all in favor of the motion state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And the motion is approved unanimously. Thank you. Agenda item 6D, discussion of possible action on resolution 2025-46, conveying one parcel of property to Habitat for Humanity, further described as Lot 410, GCAD ID number 758485.
So, in September of 2024, the EDC approved a resolution and required documents to convey a parcel of property to Habitat for Humanity. That was done in the September 2024 meeting. That property was located at 607 4th Street North. I drove by it today. It looks awesome. It definitely looks like a house. And we're communicating with Habitat for Humanity, and they've updated us that they'll be looking to do a home dedication ceremony in January. So they're very soon closing in on completing that house. When we initially considered this item in September 2024, we presented 2 parcels, with one ultimately being chosen for conveyance, and that was the 607 4th. The second parcel, which is located at 410 6th Avenue North, is still available, and it's part of a lot that we, first of all, reparceled into 4 individual spaces that would be sized for home development. And then we went through a rezoning process with planning and engineering to ensure that those properties were single-family residential, so they're the correct size and the correct zoning for these types of buildings. Habitat for Humanity has expressed strong interest in that piece of property, the 410 6th Avenue, and confirmed that they have the support necessary for a second home construction project. So we would like to ask for approval there. So the piece of property is that one that says 410.
The other one where the Habitat home was built was 607?
Yes,
am I
sir.
correct?
And like I say, it looks great, and the information we have is that they're about a month away from completing that house.
And if I'm correct, do you know what's on 601?
I do, sir. That is a home that's being built for a resident of Texas City in the home buying program. We acquired her facility, Spud Wine, and then we transferred, EDC approved, we transferred that property to her, and that house has been permitted. They started the foundation on that one, and it's under construction as well. So 410 would be the next logical one to develop. As Kristen indicated, the Habitat for Humanity home that's being built now and almost finished. When we came to you initially, we said, we'd like to present another one to you, but we want to see how this one goes first. Well, it's gone excellent, and we recommend approval.
Thank you, John. I did want to bring that to our attention at 601 as part of the Community Development Home Reconstruction Program for our seniors and disabled. And so really, literally on that corner right there, 607, 601, and 410 are 3 homes that have been provided through service and programs, Habitat,
Good. Yeah.
City, CDBG, and things like that. So it's great to see people's dreams being, coming true through one program or another. And repurpose that. That used to be the old area for, was that Imkin Linton or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah, the groundbreaking for 607 was a really special day. The gentleman that received the home was, he never stopped smiling the whole time. It was really impactful.
Awesome. Thank you for that report. Does the board have a pleasure on that?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 2025-46. Is there further discussion on the motion?
No discussion on the motion, but I do want to thank Kristen and Brandon Brooks and Ramari. We attended the Bay Area Habitat for Humanity Tuxes and Tennies Gala, and we were fortunate enough to sit at a table with our Dr. Duarte, and we represented Texas City, and just very grateful for Habitat for always being a partner in Texas City.
The city has been a great partner with Habitat for Humanity, so
Yeah.
that's something to be proud of. Indeed.
Right.
Okay. Is there a vote?
All in favor?
All in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And the motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
I was talking too much. I keep going off there.
It's all good. It's all good. It's hard to stop talking about good news, though.
Yeah.
6E, discussion of possible action on resolution number 2025-47, approving the purchase of a .215 acre parcel located at 114 First Avenue North, property ID 224018, within the Industrial Business District.
So the Texas City Economic Development Corporation has historically purchased property within the industrial business district, which cannot be used for residential or any other type of use like that. Sorry. Ramar, you threw me off.
Oh, you want me to go?
No, you're fine. Cannot be used for residential or general retail purposes, to support light industrial use, and to provide a buffer between industrial development and residential development. EDC staff were approached by Realtor Carol Venegas, who is representing property owner Joe Anzaldua, who owns one piece of property within the IBD. It is located, if you look at the top of that form, at 114 First Avenue North. The property ID is GCAD 224018. It is approximately .215 acres in size with no structure on the property. It is zoned IBD. You can see the graphic at the base of the page that illustrates that. And staff has communicated a conditional offer to purchase the property in the amount of $23,881.77 based on our property purchase price that we've set at $2.55 per square foot. Venegas has indicated that they are fully prepared to accept the offer if this board approves that.
Questions?
Is someone living in that adjacent to the east of that? That looks like a structure there. Is someone living there?
That does look like a structure there. George, do you have any idea? I don't either. That was not something they brought up. I don't believe it's their property.
I would like for EDC and John to maybe look at the value of $2.55 per square foot on certain properties. Just as we all know, properties in different part of the communities are not always the same. So $2.55 across the board, I think, might need some review on some of that, either up or down on some of these things, and our use or need for something like this.
I would appreciate that discussion too, just because we deal with so many different types of property,
Right.
from residential to industrial to light industry, what have you. It would be nice to have a set price for each of those types of properties if that was the board's pleasure. So we would have a good reference going forward.
Moving forward.
This 255 was used because this is what we typically use per square foot when we've been purchasing previous properties in the industrial business district.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And, all right.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I move for approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 2025-47. Is there further discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And the motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Agenda item number 7, which is updates and reports. Dr. Duarte is here with I'm sure, a wonderful update on on the purse that she won at the designer bag bingo. She had quite a night, and not only that, her husband won a purse, so a double winner. So that was pretty awesome. But aside from that mundane detail, tell us all the great things that are happening at our schools.
So first of all, 2 more days and we're on Christmas break. Survived our semester. That always brings smiles to the staff. But just some updates. We are on our 3rd year, first cohort of our early college high school programs at both Texas City High School and Lamar High School. And I've had the pleasure of visiting with our, hate to call it, but our guinea pigs, our very first cohort of students going through the program. And we have several students on track to earn their associate's degree prior to their high school diploma. And they're so excited with the work that they've been doing and challenging themselves. I also have to share, I was out at ITC today, Everybody Loves Our Industrial Trade Center, and they had their Christmas tree judging going on. So each department, each program, welding, maritime, electrical engineering, and construction, design a Christmas tree based on their industry. Really cool. Hate judging. I get very stressed because they're all amazing projects, and our kids put that together and describe exactly how they come up with the designs and what that's going to entail. I also love to share, there was a report in the Houston Chronicle from a nonprofit organization, Children at Risk, that evaluates education across the state. And they talked about 2 school districts that had the greatest growth and improvement across their campuses. Texas City ISD was number 1, Aldine was number 2, with 73% of our campuses showing academic progress for our students. So we were really excited to see our names in light, especially with something positive. Also, some great partnerships going on with the Chamber of Commerce. Somebody here from the Chamber? No? Just education and really looking at the connection between public education and the workforce and preparing students. So we're so blessed to be a part of that project that's going on. And the last thing I'm always going to put a plug in, you see children, you know children, you're a grandparent, we need our kids to come to school. Education right now struggles with attendance. Chronic absenteeism is up everywhere.
Yeah.
I like to stop and roll down my window, which I probably shouldn't do. Are you one of my kids? Why aren't you in school? Especially when they're carrying a backpack. Sometimes they're overage, and I probably shouldn't have asked. But we need our kids coming to school, so if you see any, help us. And that's everything I have for TCISD.
Dr. Duarte, we do make some home visitations, isn't that correct, occasionally, and trying to encourage those students that live in those different places to try to talk to parents and maybe catch a kid?
We absolutely do, and we have our next walk coming up in January. I'd be more than happy to send that out if you'd like to join us. We do knock on doors, and we do talk about the importance of attendance and education and what children are missing, and we ask why. What can we do to help you to get your child to come to school every day, which is where they need to be?
Thank
I'm
you.
sure Mr. B will be happy to make sure you guys get the date and information.
I can do that. And it's good that it's all administration staff, so principals do this too. It's not just someone else down the line or teaching a classroom, but everybody knows those principals and down the line. Yeah.
We have everybody coming together to make a difference.
Right.
Thank you for that report and for everything you do for the district. Greatly appreciated. Anything else to report? Mr. Branson.
I have one quick announcement. You may recall at, I believe it was our last meeting, we made an announcement that Kristen was elected as the chair of HEDRA. It's now my pleasure to announce that Ramari Lee was named president of the Texas Municipal Clerks Association Saltgrass chapter. So kudos to Ramari Lee.
Congratulations, well deserved, indeed. Anything, oh, silly me.
I did keep them short today, though. So number one, LNG and Galveston Industries, we had a breakthrough. So after nearly a year of work, the two Shoal Point projects have reached an agreement to allow for the placement of a gas pipeline, which is necessary for the LNG project to make their final investment decision. With that agreement signed, which we're in the process of developing as we speak, they would look to make FID in Q1 or Q2 of next year. So very, very, very happy about that. This will lead to an agreement between the city and the two projects, identifying the pipeline route as well as room for a roadway connecting 197 through the LNG property to the Galveston Industries project. So a good opportunity for partnership. And when I spoke with them this week, they both are now thinking in terms of a long-term partnership and helping each other succeed. So we're in a good place. This evening, we'll be taking an MOU in front of Commission pertaining to an EDA grant for Port of Texas City. I just wanted to make y'all aware since they're one of our industrial partners. The projects associated with the grant would include a gate realignment, which would separate industry traffic from railway traffic, as well as an upgrade to their existing water line that I believe is something like 30 years old, to create a water line loop within the port. If approved, the city would apply for $7.2 million in grant funds, with the port providing the matching funds. So to reiterate, the city is not looking to pony up money. We are applying for the grant as the non-federal sponsor. The port would match those funds. We have received our final payout for the Community Plaza project. Yay! We want to especially thank B&D Construction for extending their maintenance period out these last 3 months to allow us time to bid out and identify the Hill Foundation for our maintenance contract. So thank you all for your approval of that. That really sets us on a good path getting into 2026. We have continued to welcome new businesses to the Phoenix thanks to our head Phoenix, Ariel. Now we are looking at two more. We've got the Naeem Law Firm and Melissa's Documentation Preparation, which is tax and notary services. Both are looking at Cubby memberships to start with. So with any final comments from the Phoenix Committee, and we've sent that out a couple times this week, we'll be looking to welcome them in as Cubby members. So really exciting. And other area incubators that have started and opened and looked beautiful were not able to get any clients. And I think this will make seven clients, which is very exciting. Finally, on December 13th, Ms. Jade Jones over there organized a very successful holiday market that was held at the 6th Street Community Plaza with 18 vendors offering a range of holiday gifts. And several of those have already expressed interest in coming back to the plaza for future events. So we're very happy with how that went, and we look forward to a Valentine's market and a spring break market and a summer market, whatever Jade decides.
In reference to that, I think there's only about 6 vacant parking spots all the way around in all the parking areas around Nestor Center and the Dole Center and the natatorium. There wasn't any. It was full.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about the snow spectacular.
Yeah.
But
excuse me.
Different event, but still
It
city related. It was very successful.
That's right. That was the week before. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen.
All right. Anything else to report?
I just want to report, you may know this, but the details will probably come later. We will be moving day 2026. We'll be moving out of this building. All city administrative offices, utility buildings, city secretaries, mayor's office, this entire building will be up and moving various weekends throughout January, and we will be totally moved out of this building and fully operational by February 2nd into our new interim city complex, which will be at the Community Family Center on Texas Avenue and 21st Street. That's where we'll be relocating. And we'll be there for upwards of 2 years as we embark upon building for our future and building a brand new municipal complex right here in this footprint. So there's going to be some significant construction going on starting a little bit after maybe summertime or so. And Dr. Duarte, we're going to be as least disruptive to the school operations as possible. That has been a part of every discussion that we've had with our architects and our construction managers at risk. And so we are very cognizant of the schools on the street, the library next door, and all the other operations. But just wanted to let us know from a public standpoint, we'll be fully operational on February 2nd in our brand new interim building. So, and as far as EDC meetings are concerned, we will schedule them as needed, like we always do, and they'll likely take place in the Doyle Center.
Perfect. All right. Well, in the absence of anything otherwise, wish everyone a safe, blessed Christmas and holiday season, and we will see you all next year, if not before then. So, the time is 3:54, and we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Always good job. Thank you.
Thank you.